Go. There we go.
And welcome to the Rope Shoot Podcast, the place to be for your wrestling needs. I am your host, Vic the Slick, and of course, my co-host.
Buddy Von Terror here.
All right, we got a good show for you today. Of course, we have our recap for Raw and SmackDown, and we're just going to look at some wrestling news that we can find. So, all right.
Woohoo.
Of course, we all know that last week we found out that Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella had their little baby girl, Birdie Joe Danielson.
Yay.
We still haven't seen pictures yet. All we've seen are the feet and the top of her head. We have not seen the face yet. And I'm getting word from my producer that we won't be able to see that for at least a month.
The countdown is on to see the elusive Miss Birdie Joe. We want to see her in action, and Brie, we hope you are happy and healthy as well with your new bundle of joy.
Yes, I agree. Happy. Congratulations. Of course, once again, congratulations to the family, or to the parents, I should say. And we're just trying to bullshit around some wrestling news.
I have some non-wrestling news, but that's completely off topic.
All right, might as well share,
Well, in case I'm pretty sure everybody who has Facebook already knows this, but the lead singer of Audioslave and Soundgarden, one of the leading forces of the grunge scene, Chris Cornell, has committed suicide at the age of 52. He was found dead in his Detroit hotel room this morning.
Wow. Also, it was a suicide.
Yep. It was a hanging.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's just crazy.
So on behalf of the Rope Shoot family, we hope that Chris Cornell's family, they're in our thoughts. And rest in peace, Chris. You were an amazing musician, and we hope that you finally found peace.
Yes, rest in peace, my friend. Where the music was that we missed. So anyway, all right. Let's start with our recap of Monday Night Raw.
Welcome to our recap of Monday Night Raw!
Seriously, we should start getting some edited little videos in there.
Oh, I know, right?
but we will soon. All right.
This is going to be extremely fun. This was a pretty action-packed episode, just like last week's. They've actually got a lot of good feuds going on, and I cannot wait to watch Extreme Rules, which will be on Sunday, June 4th, only on the WWE Network.
So mark that down. What is it, June 4th?
Yep, June 4th. You got it. There.
Nice. So, the illustrious Bunny Von Terror.
The illustrious you. Yes.
Now, there's one thing I did watch.
Mm-hmm.
There's one thing I did watch a little bit of, and that was the And of course, I'm kicking myself in the butt. I am kicking myself in the butt. The reason why was because Raw actually took place at the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey. And of course, I'm about 40 minutes. In fact, I'm about 40 minutes from the Prudential Center, and also I don't work near the Prudential, but I work at the Newark Airport. And of course, and that was the thing. I was off the next Tuesday, the next day, okay. Which means that most of the WWE superstars had to go to Newark Airport.
Mm-hmm.
So needless to say, I missed my chance of seeing any of the wrestlers checking their bags or whatever.
Ordinary Joe's checking bags.
Right.
Port 11.
So no, I missed a chance to see some of the superstars that were probably checking their bags and trying to get to their flights at Newark. But I know I know one guy. He's a friend of mine. He works as a ticket agent, and he's also a huge wrestling fan, very huge.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things he got to put up on his Facebook was that he got a picture with Bailey. Yeah. I was like, son of a bitch.
As we all know, I'm a huge Bailey fan.
Yeah,
Huge.
And seriously, he managed to. What's that? Yeah, no, right. I'm sorry, that's just Kathy in the background. Say hi, Kathy.
I am. I'm lost. I'm trying to find somebody, and yeah.
she's playing World of Warcraft. So.
That is our production manager, Kathy, over there. She's yelling at people. Get back to work!
No, it's not your loss. We just made you our production manager.
Hi.
So.
But yes, that's exciting. I am slightly jealous. The only wrestler I've really actually met, person to person, and actually got pictures with, who geeked out over me was Jack Swagger, who is unfortunately not with WWE anymore.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm actually at his on his Facebook right now. Okay, so he got to take a picture with not only Bailey, and he's also a big comic book fan, so it's like a lot of comic book stuff. He got to have a picture with Bray Wyatt.
I would love to meet Bray Wyatt.
Yes, and this is all at Newark Airport. Of course, I had the day off, so.
Lucky duck.
Yeah, lucky bastard. I know there was a way to share the screen or something. Don't remember.
I don't remember, actually. Let me look.
Oh, screen share. I just found it. I just found it, and now I'm going to show you right here. Okay. So, all right, so there. Right, let's just share the screen. Okay, there. That's my friend. His name is Fabian, and there he is with Bray Wyatt.
That's amazing.
And hold on, I know it's all. And this is the first. There he is with Bailey.
Bailey!
So yeah. And that's pretty much all I see. Everything else, like I said, is comic books, but so far those are the ones I just saw.
That's pretty exciting, though. I would love to meet Bailey because she's known, from what I hear backstage, she's known as one of the most down-to-earth superstars.
Well, she likes to give hugs. That's the thing.
She's a hugger. That's her thing.
Yeah, but yeah, like I said, he's one lucky guy. Like I said, he's a big wrestling fan, and he works at the airport. And like I said, last night Raw just happened to be in Newark, New Jersey, and they had to go to Newark Airport to take their next flight. So him being a ticket agent, he gets to be there, And it's just like, I'm looking at stuff like, are you kidding me? And he got to meet Bailey, and I'm just like beating myself up. Yeah.
Don't worry, Vic. You'll get your chance.
I hope so.
Just think, you could meet Dean Ambrose, and then I will really hate you.
Well, only time will tell, that's for sure. All right, well, now we're going to start with the Raw recap.
Yep. So, as Vic has said before, our Raw this week took place in none other than Newark, New Jersey, which means that we will, of course, probably see Big Cass and Enzo Amore. But First off, Raw opens before the credits roll. It recapped everything with the Strowman Reigns feud and the fallout of the Raw mayhem that we saw last week, where it was announced that Braun Strowman will be getting surgery and he'll be out for an approximate. I believe Kurt Angle actually, when he started off the show, he was talking about that. And he said that Braun Strowman will be out of action for up to 6 months.
Now, let me cut you on that there, where he was getting a really, really huge push.
Mm-hmm.
To the point probably they were going to put him in the title run with Brock Lesnar. But of course, because of that shoulder injury, you know, everything had to have surgery and everything like that. You know what usually happens when people come back from like injury and all that kind of stuff. Some of them they go back where they go back to where they left off, or sometimes, So we're gonna see what's gonna happen. Excuse me. We're gonna see what's gonna happen when Braun Strowman comes back 6 months later. So that means he's gonna miss. Hold on. He's gonna miss SummerSlam, isn't he?
I believe so.
I believe so. He's gonna miss SummerSlam.
SummerSlam's in what, August or September, right?
August.
Yeah. So yeah, he'll be out. So
Okay.
if it's May now, so May. So he'll be out till approximately November. If anything, I see him coming back for what is it? Is that Night of Champions that's in November?
Well, there's Survivor Series.
Survivor Series. And of course, if he decides to postpone it, we could see him in TLC in December. So
Worst case scenario, he will probably be at the Royal Rumble. Worst case scenario.
yeah.
So.
But
Right.
please, speedy recovery, Braun. We do miss you.
You are the monster among men.
Yes, you're the mountain that Roman Reigns will not climb yet. But yeah, Kurt Angle comes out, and of course you get the you suck, and he starts talking about who will challenge Brock, because obviously Strowman's out. And he said it is earned and not given, which I love the fact that he said that. And so, setting up for Extreme Rules for the title shot, there will be a fatal, not 4-way, but 5-way match.
Wow.
And the contenders will be Seth Rollins, Samoa Joe, Finn Balor, yay Finn, Bray Wyatt, and Roman Reigns. And as soon as Reigns came down, the fans booed him to pieces. Like, I've never seen the fans go so like adamantly booing him since that whole wellness policy thing.
Yeah.
Like, he got some serious heat. And
He's supposed to be the face of the company. That's what makes it so funny. It's like he's supposed to, but I'll tell you this right now. That's how some of the New Jersey fans are. Me being from Jersey myself, I know how they are, and they're brutal.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much like the Jersey, New York, tri-state area. They're really brutal fans. I mean, I'm thinking there may have been some cheers for Roman, but you probably wouldn't be able to hear it with the amount of boos that was going on.
So Roman interrupts as Angle is set to leave the ring. He gets mixed cheers and boos, but oddly enough, the crowd turned around and gave him a little bit more cheers that time.
Okay.
Roman's carrying his shoulder a little weak, obviously, because Braun Strowman and him had that brawl, and it's adding up more and more. So he's looking worn for wear there. And as he enters, the crowd boos. And Roman states that he is the number one contender, and it's his yard. He beat Taker at Mania, and he put Braun in the ambulance. And Reigns states he is the only one who can beat Lesnar. And then obviously, there's going to be somebody who interrupts him, and none other than Mr. Finn Balor comes down. And you know me, I'm on the edge of my seat, like, oh my God, it's Finn.
Yeah. Balor Club for you all the way.
Oh, I'm a Balor Club baby all the way. And he states that he was the first Universal Champion and that he never lost his title. If you want And this is a quote that I thought was hysterically amazing, especially because it's coming from Finn to Roman. He says, "If you want a piece of the beast, the line starts behind me." And it was just like, the audience was electrified when he said that. And of
Wow.
course there was a stare down between Reigns and Balor. And then Finn states that his first night on Raw, he already beat Roman. So that'd be kind of like a rematch.
Right.
And then Samoa Joe's comes out, and then he goes all on about how actions and results, like his action was coming out to beat Seth Rollins, and he put the submission hold that he has. He put the submission hold on Seth Rollins, and the result was he was out. He was out cold, and of course.
Well, we said that. Well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
And of course, he goes on this little spiel, and who interrupts him? Go ahead, take a wild guess who interrupts him.
I'm gonna have to say, I don't know, James Ellsworth. No, I'm just kidding. No, it was Seth freaking Rollins.
It was not Seth freaking Rollins, believe it or not. It was Bray Wyatt. Soon as he starts, Samoa Joe goes into that spiel, Bray Wyatt's little video goes off, the audience goes dark, and he appears in the ring. Every time I watch Bray Wyatt, I am always amazed. He's like a sorcerer on the microphone. I'm pretty sure he's this generation's Undertaker with how captivating he is.
Mm-hmm.
He can command his presence is so commanding. His mic work is impeccable. Like, I cannot wait to see this big push they're going to give him. He deserves a title shot.
No, I agree. I mean, granted, yes, he has been the world champion.
Right.
When he was on SmackDown. So he's already reached the top. So he knows what it's like to reach the top.
Mm-hmm.
So like you said, he deserves another push to make him go back into the top again, this time on Raw.
Absolutely. And what's funny is that Bray Wyatt goes on to say that Roman will fall, Joe will cower, and Finn will run. In saying basically because he can sense the fear in all of them. Because he can sense the evil from Brock Lesnar. His whole thing is take out evil. Basically, He's the Shield without the shield. Right. But as soon as he gets done telling Finn that he'll run, Seth comes out. The crowd goes fucking wild.
And we get the Seth freaking Rollins.
Yep. And he says, New Jersey didn't come for talking. New Jersey came to see fighting.
And that is true. That is absolutely true. We ain't here to talk. We're here to fight.
Exactly. And as soon as he says that, a brawl breaks out. Joe's all over Seth. Bray goes after Finn. Roman goes after Bray, and Joe just hobbles away. Like...
I think this is going to be a very interesting feud because they're starting out with a feud between Bray Wyatt and Finn Balor.
I like it because Finn's got the demon gimmick, and Bray is the Eater of Worlds.
Right.
So that could kind of be twisted, like kind of how they did it with Randy Orton on SmackDown.
Right.
Where he becomes one of the sheeps, or maybe Demon Finn will devour Bray Wyatt's world. We don't know. That's all WWE's creative right there.
Yep. Don't fuck it up.
Don't fuck it up, guys. But yeah, so what happens after Joe hobbles away, Bray gets on Seth, and he starts getting Seth. Roman Superman punches Bray. Finn sling blades Roman, and then everybody's on the floor except for Finn. Finn's got the look of desperation, kind of like how Dean does when he launches himself over the rope. Finn launches over the rope at Seth, Wyatt, and Roman. It was insane. And that was just the opening segment. This is a precursor to everything that's going to happen for the night. I was immensely entertained by that opening segment.
Oh wow. Excuse me. Uh, that's. I lost my train of thought again. Oh my god.
That train of thought has sailed, sir.
Yes, it has. It's been derailed once again. But no, like you said, I did miss it, but I'm definitely gonna watch it. Maybe afterwards or tomorrow morning because I did DVR it, so I
Mm-hmm.
can't wait. All right, but as far as the results, though, I see the next match was Jeff Hardy of the Hardy Boys taking on Sheamus.
Yep, and that was actually it was pretty good. Um, so the Hardy Boys versus Sheamus was obviously in the match. They did show a promo before they came out, and it was Rollins, Reigns, and Balor arguing. So Angle puts Rollins and Wyatt, which is Seth's first match against Bray ever.
Right.
So I was excited to hear that. And then there was going to be the Finn and Roman rematch. So that was the cool promo, and then it launches into the Hardys coming out, and it kind of recaps from Payback, and of course they're harping about Jeff Hardy's tooth again.
Oh yeah.
Just name him Cotton Eye Jeff and get it over with, guys. But yeah, as soon as the match starts, basically Sheamus takes control almost immediately. And it was kind of back and forth with Sheamus taking control, then Jeff taking control. It was very back and forth match. I was kind of bored with this match, to be honest. I think they could have.
They could have what?
It could have added more zest to it. Like, give me something to want. Like, make me cheer for one of these guys. Like, but it was so back and forth you couldn't get anything. Jeff eventually takes control, and then Sheamus is down and out, and of course Cesaro hops up on the apron, and so Matt has to save the day there. And in the heat of that, Sheamus goes to bro kick Jeff, misses Jeff, hits Matt. Matt and Cesaro hit the floor, and then a swanton bomb from Jeff Hardy, and obviously Hardy gets the fall. Like I said, it was a very, very boring match. It was very typical. You know, those lead ups to the big matches. There's always going to be somebody wins one match, then there's a dusty one, and then there's a clear, definite winner. Like, this was kind of the dustier, boring match.
And speaking of boring matches, we have Sasha Banks versus Alicia Fox. Okay, 1 second. Sorry, folks.
We are experiencing technical difficulties. Please stand by.
Not necessarily, just
Sorry.
I know, just having. Jesus, it's coming out. All right, look at that. It's back.
Excellent.
All right. So yeah, speaking of boring matches, Alicia, this one was so quick. They're saying that this one was really quick. It was only 3 minutes long, and the fact that Alicia Fox got the win, it's like, what's happening with Sasha Banks now? You know.
And what I think is funny is that the commentators were more focused on the fact that Foxy had Noam Dar out there with her, and they were focusing on their relationship. And the whole reason that they got this rematch is because last week, obviously, Foxy did kick out with her shoulder up. The ref didn't see it and called for the bell. And then Noam Dar apparently complained to the uppers, and they got the rematch handled. And the crowd was going wild for Sasha, of course, because it's Sasha Banks. How can you not cheer for her?
Right.
But basically, Sasha gets dumped over the ropes. There's a scissor kick from Foxy. Foxy pulls it out. I don't know how. And I don't know what's going on with this feud with Alicia Fox and Sasha Banks. I think it's the most boring thing.
Yeah.
I don't like the fact that they have Alicia Fox with Noam Dar. I think that is a wrong move for her. She's a strong, independent woman. She doesn't need a relationship on screen to make her look tough.
No, I know, but it just like I said, I'm just hoping that they're really not burying Sasha Banks. I mean, she went from trying to get the women's title to now, dealing with Alicia Fox, and I just don't like it. I don't know what this feud is going to be about. I don't like this feud at all.
I think it's honestly the stupidest thing I've ever seen, because Alicia Fox, I love Alicia Fox. I've always liked Alicia Fox.
Yeah.
She's a strong wrestler, but what bothers me is that they don't know what to do with her. And so they put her in these shitty storylines. They don't know what they're going to put her in next, and so she winds up looking more like an amateur, like for instance Eva Marie type.
Oh,
and she's better than that. She's way better than that.
I agree. And of course, the next one was Dean Ambrose taking on The Miz for the WWE Intercontinental Championship.
Okay, this is where things get kooky. I have a love-hate relationship with this match. There was lots of back and forth, but it was so action-packed, like you didn't know what was going to happen next. First off, the Miz's outfit coming out, what the fuck was that? It looks like a mariachi teamed up and had sex with a Power Ranger. It's like he's taking advice from Rita Repulsa and Kalisto.
All right, now I got to see that. Let me see if I can find it online.
Horrible. And Maurice was not very far off. Like, Maurice was wearing something that looked just like it, but had silver in it. Like, really? Wrong fashion choice there. He looked like an idiot. Or as Chris Jericho would say, you stupid idiot.
A stupid idiot. Now I'm trying to find it now.
I'm telling you, as soon as you see this, it's hysterical.
Oh, is it the thing that he always wears? Or is it something?
It was something different, I think. Hang on, let me try to find it myself.
I know, folks. It's like we're trying to figure it out. Because I think it's always like the same thing he's always worn. But
5. What date was that?
5/15.
5/15. That's what I thought. Well, not 2007. That would have been bad. Images.
That's Alicia Fox.
Are they not going to show them?
Oh, I found the picture. I found the picture on Twitter. Yeah.
Thank God. He looks like a moron.
All right. I'm going to share it right now. Is it? Hold on. Is this what you're talking about right here?
Yes, that is what I'm talking about. It looks terrible. It looks like Rita Repulsa mixed with freaking a mariachi, and then top it off with like the old Ascension look.
Oh God.
Like, it is just all bad news bears.
All right. Well, you heard it from Bunny Von Terror. The Mrs. entrance outfit sucks bad.
In the words of The Miz, it's not awesome. And of course, the match starts. Miz's gimmick is to be a coward. So what does he do? He automatically traps himself in a corner, and then sticks his head out between the ropes. So the ref will say, "Dean, back away. Dean, back away."
Right.
But of course, Dean goes for the high rent district. Miz runs away like a little girl. During the commercial break, Miz does take control for a little bit. There's a roll-up pin near fall on the Miz from Dean, lots of back and forth with lots of action. Like this match, if you haven't seen it, you need to go watch it because it was actually really good. The ending fucking sucks, but the beginning leading up to the ending is fantastic. Like point A to B and a half is okay, but getting to C is just terrible.
Right. Because I heard what it was that he was, or you explained that he was about to give Dean Ambrose the low blow.
Mm-hmm.
And Dean, of course, Maurice comes up to cause the distraction. Dean Ambrose, or I'm sorry, The Miz went for the low blow, but Dean caught it, turned around, and right in front of the referee, gave a low blow to The Miz himself. So yeah, The Miz wins by disqualification, but Dean still retains the title because you can't lose the title on a disqualification.
Yep, it has to be pinfall or submission. And
So
what's funny is that Dean kicks out of the skull crushing finale, and then he goes to go up on the high rent district, and Miz puts Maurice in front of him to protect himself from getting smashed by Dean Ambrose.
Typical Miz.
Like it was just insane. I love the match. Hated the ending, but of course it's always going to be a dusty finish. It is the midway match. It was supposed to be obviously the title match, but you know them. There's a pay-per-view coming up, so they're not going to have Dean drop the belts on a Raw. That would diminish the value of the belts.
Right.
Like,
does that mean you'll think he'll drop it at Extreme Rules?
It's a very big possibility. I could see him dropping it and they prolonging that feud and Miz getting back the belts, or they could just have Dean maintain it. I don't know. Honestly, I'm on the fence. Like, the Miz, I will hand it to him whenever he has that Intercontinental belt. He's a good champion. Like, and I hate rooting for Miz. That's the hard part.
Well, here's what I heard though, and I think, what was it? Oh, you were watching it, and I said I feel sorry for my New Jersey fans because one of my friends was actually watching it live, and I heard like some of the fans going, "Let's go, Miz! Let's go, Miz!" Like they wanted Miz to win the title.
Yeah, there was a big pop saying "Let's go Miz." There were some that were saying "Let's go Dean," but the Miz fans were ruling that one. There was lots of "This is awesome" chants, but in the end, I'm just so on the fence about who should get this belt. Like, I am the biggest Dean Ambrose mark out there. Like, you know me, I've got Dean Ambrose shirts. I am in love with Dean Ambrose. I think he's fantastic. He's from Ohio, just like myself. Like. And then you've got The Miz, who is a great, fantastic heel. He's been a great heel for so long. He's also an Ohio boy. Yeah. So
that's what I was going to say. I was like, he was also in Ohio.
Yep. It was basically the Battle of the Seas. Because Miz is from Cleveland, Dean's from Cincinnati.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. That is correct.
Mm-hmm. You know who's also from Ohio? Mr. Dolph Ziggler. He's also from the Cleveland area.
Yeah, that's what I heard, too.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember that one time when I think it was the second week when Miz and Dean Ambrose was on Raw, and I think I remember it was on Miz TV that Dean even mentioned that they were at Ohio. I forget what I forget what city it was. I think it was I don't remember, but it was somewhere in Ohio, and what made it funny was that Dean was on Miz TV, and he was doing OH, and everybody was like IO, OH, IO, oh, you know what I mean?
I remember that actually.
So
that wasn't last year. Was it before the brand split or was it after?
It was way after. It was like 2 weeks after. It was 2 weeks after Miz and Dean Ambrose went from SmackDown to Raw.
Oh, okay, so it was quite recently. Okay.
Yeah, it was actually.
But I remember watching that segment, but it had to have been.
I think it was. It was 1 week after Miz and Maurice came in as John Cena and Nikki Bella, and Dean Ambrose comes in and he's like, "John Cena and Nikki Bella, am I glad to see you?" And
I
this,
love that. That was pretty freaking
that was like
fantastic.
that was the best. And Miz is like, I'm not John Cena, I'm the Miz. He's like, oh well, in that case, boom, dirty deeds.
But
And
yeah,
then
I want to
that
say
was
that.
that was the following week after that little segment.
Yeah, I'll have to look that up. I don't remember where at in Ohio. I don't think it was Columbus. I want to say it was like Dayton or something.
Right, but sure enough, it was. I thought it was pretty awesome. That was pretty awesome, and this is a good feud with Dean Ambrose versus the Miz.
One is super face, one is super heel. It's like the ultimate good versus evil, and of course everybody's saying Dean Ambrose is a lazy champion, will not fight. Well, look, he's fighting for it now. But
Yeah.
will it be too late? Will he drop?
We don't know. And let's see, what was next after that? Oh,
Finn gets interviewed about WWE 24 and the Roman Reigns fight, of course. But yeah, WWE 24 is basically telling the story of Finn and where he got to start, and then after the trials and tribulations, and obviously the shoulder surgery and everything that he had to endure after he won the Universal belt, and now what his next moves are. Which I am probably going to watch that in after, not this podcast, but after I watch it. So probably next week's podcast, if we have time to. Which I think we should make it a special big podcast because next week is Backlash, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh yeah.
So I think we might bump it up to 2 hours because we got a lot of coverage to cover. So I might have a short little segment about WWE 24 with Finn Balor next week. So keep an eye out for that as well.
Awesome. I can't wait. Oh, I got 2 hours sitting in this chair.
Hey,
not worried about it.
We do it all day anyway.
That's true. That's true. Cramps? What cramps?
Right. You're crying? There's no crying in podcasting. What are you crying for? There's no crying in podcasting.
Oh, God.
And of course, after Finn gets interviewed, guess who we get to see next?
Would that be the Raw Women's Champion?
Yes, the proclaimed goddess of the WWE herself, Little Miss Bliss, Miss Alexa Bliss. And she goes on a rant and says that Newark, New Jersey, she tries to say all these like mottos and catchphrases, and they're cheering her on as she says like the Dreamland of America or different like crappy ones. And then she says, "Oh, I got it. Newark, New Jersey, the sweat glands of America." And she gets the biggest like boo ever. It is fantastic. Like, I don't think I've ever heard a bigger boo come out of anybody. And those New Jersey fans are no joke.
They are no joke. I'm telling you right now.
And she makes jabs at Miss USA, which was just this past week, where Miss DC won. And she says, if I would have entered, I would have won, blah, 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 blah. And she says, Miss USA, you are welcome. Like, basically giving herself the Alexa Bliss treatment. And then Bayley interrupts her, and I'm so glad, because I love Bayley. Love my Bayley.
They had the inflatable floating tube man like this?
Yep.
Oh, they had them? All right. They had the inflatable floating tube man, or whatever they call them.
But Bayley invokes her rematch clause for Extreme Rules, and then Bliss says something to Bayley, which we all know Bayley's a sweetheart. She's just a ray of sunshine. She's like Little Miss Perfect, basically. She's our hugger. You can't fault her for that. She's babyface. Right. She says, "You will never get extreme."
Oh.
And then Bayley attacks Bliss, and then Bliss finds a kendo sticks and brutally beats Bayley on the back.
Ouch.
Which, if anyone's taken a hit from a kendo stick, you know it fucking hurts.
Oh, wow.
And to hit poor little Bayley.
Well,
my Bayley.
Yeah, well, because of that, they're saying that they're going to have the Raw Women's Championship match at Extreme Rules with a kendo stick on a pole match.
Yep. And that was a later segment in the show, and basically Bailey and Kurt Angle are talking. He's like, you know what? It's just gonna be a regular match. And Bailey's like, that's not fair. She's attacked my family. She's attacked me, and now I can't get her back. And basically, he's chanting for her to go extreme, and she's like, I'm ready to go extreme. And so that's what prompted the kendo stick on a pole match.
Yeah, man.
But of course, after that, after the whole spiel with freaking Alexa Bliss, there's a promo where Miz is whining about, oh, Dean.
What is Miz not whining? Seriously, about this point.
He's like, well, Dean cheated because he knows that I was going to win, blah, 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 blah. And then Marie starts yelling at Kurt Angle in French. And then, of course...
It's just...
And then, of course, the random guitar guy. Who the hell is this guitar guy? I don't know.
All right, he's from NXT. He's actually known as the Drifter Elias Sampson.
But he interrupts Kurt and Maurice arguing.
Yeah, that's his shtick now. It's just basically he just pops out, starts playing his guitar, and just drifts off.
It's like, honestly, I thought, like, because when after the whole Shane kicking Dean out, I really thought Dean was gonna pull that on freaking Angle. I literally thought that Dean was gonna have a guitar and start playing it, but no, here comes the Drifter.
Elias Sampson, yep. And it's just
yeah. Then we have the Cruiserweights. TJP and Neville team up with Austin Aries and who I claim Ned Flanders, the gentleman Jack Gallagher. Obviously, it's Extreme Rules Aries versus Neville for the Cruiserweight. TJP and Neville obviously get the win because they're heels.
Because they're heels.
Oh, and I forgot to mention this when we were talking news. The Hall of Famer, JR, Mr. Jim Ross, is calling the UK Championship this Friday. It is on the WWE Network for those who have it. So keep an eye out, and if you do miss Jim Ross, I miss Jim Ross, so I'm gonna tune in. I'm gonna try to tune in for that as well. It's gonna be a big show next week. But yeah, and then we go on. There's Golden Truth. We're talking about the tag team turmoil, and then we have.
Okay. Before we go with the Golden Truth, and this was the one that happened today, right? What the hell was that all about?
I have not the slightest fucking clue what is going on in Goldie's head. He attacked Truth. It was insane.
It was before their match even started. He attacked R-Truth.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like,
I was heartbroken, because I love the Golden Truth. They're one of my favorite tag teams, because they're so quirky, and you can actually tell they're friends. But when Goldust attacked R-Truth and then said, that's what's up, and then walks away, I was heartbroken. So is this a possible... Are they breaking up the Golden Truth? Is this a possible heel turn for Goldust? Is there going to be a feud between Truth and Goldie? What's going on, man?
I have no idea. I'm going to be honest with you. I have no idea. But,
let's see. We obviously have the Finn Reigns match.
Right.
Roman comes out to more boos and cheers at this point. We all know that's going to happen. Is the WWE going to turn Reigns heel finally? He's getting more heat than cheers at this point. They've got to be thinking, because he can't play John Cena anymore. I think that a heel turn would be the best thing for his career at this point, because they're basically throwing him through the mud.
Now, here's the funny part. Now, if he does turn heel, are the fans now going to cheer him?
That would be fucking wacky.
That would be wacky. because everybody wants a heel turn from Roman. Let's say he finally does it. Next thing you know, everybody's cheering. Okay, like thank you, Roman, or something like that.
Right.
Or, thank you, Roman, or just like I don't know. It's with WWE fans or wrestling fans in general at this point now. You don't know.
There's nothing
No.
you can't expect something and then they give it to you. They're basically expect the unexpected when it comes to the WWE universe. Especially when your ass is planted in one of those seats or on your feet cheering for people at a live audience, like
Yeah.
you never know. Like I found myself cheering for the League of Nations when they were still a stable. Like it was weird. Like you can turn at the drop of a hat just because you're so excited.
That's true. That's true. That's true. And of course, next up we had Big Cass versus Titus O'Neil.
Which was hysterical. Basically, I saw a change in Big Cass. Big Cass commanded that mic and gave the gimmick an amazing facelift. I was so happy because for once Cass took the reins on that one and Enzo kind of stood in the background. And Titus actually comes out and riffs Enzo's entrance and dance. Like he was dancing like Enzo in that suit and it was hysterical.
Oh my god!
But Cass won that match. That was a pretty fast match. And then we have, of course, the main event, which was
Seth Rollins.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Seth Rollins and Bray Wyatt. Wow, I was like, wait, why was I gonna say Samoa Joe?
Well, Samoa Joe has something to do with this match.
Well, yeah, he interferes, of course, so Rollins wins by DQ. And then Wyatt and Joe beat up on Rollins, which I thought was a weird twist of fate, but it's the lesser of two evils. So they're beating up on Rollins, and then Wyatt turns on Joe and gives him Sister Abigail, and then ends with giving Seth Sister Abigail as well. So that was an action-packed Raw. Like, I was on my seat the entire time. The only thing that I could have wished to see more of was they could have improved a hell of a lot when it came to the match between Finn and Roman. I think they could have done more with the ending of Dean and Miz. The Hardy Boys match was horrible, and Foxy versus Sasha, that was just I was crying in my seat. Like, why is this happening? But yeah, that's what I've got for Raw. Like, it was a good show. I would give it probably a B+.
Right. Now we will quickly get on to a SmackDown. We apologize. I know we took a lot of time with Raw. We're still learning the podcast spiel.
We're learning. We're not worthy.
As you can see, we're getting a little bit better. But trust me, pretty soon. I know it's our third episode. We're getting to it. Basically, the quick thing is like we had the highlight reel with Kevin Owens, because Chris Jericho. We all know what's going on with Chris Jericho. He's out for injury, but actually touring with Fozzy. But Kevin Owens takes over the highlight reel, and it'll be around again. He's glowing about injuring his former best friend. Of course, AJ Styles emerges, and KO promised him to beat him at Backlash. But of course, the phenomenal one, AJ, says that he would bring the U.S. title back to America.
Yeah. And did you notice how Kevin Owens was showing a very Bret Hart attitude era, like attitude towards America?
Yeah, pretty much.
Are they turning him into the next Bret Hart? I'm starting to wonder.
Pretty much. Well, pretty much. He's saying now he's the new face of America. So I don't know at this point. Then we had Jinder Mahal. And I'm telling you straight up, they are pushing Jinder Mahal to the roof. I'm sorry, no, not even to the roof, to the stratosphere.
Honestly, he deserves it. Like, after watching the fight between him and Styles, like, honestly, I think he's improved heaps, and he's finally getting the push he deserves.
Yeah. I mean, I remember what they did to him the last time he was there. but he's gotten
Three-man
better.
band, anyone? You want to strike up the band?
The guy's not going to happen. You know, of course, like you said about Jinder Mahal, Mahal winning by pinfall, and of course, we had another episode of the Fashion Files
Of course.
with Tyler Breeze disguising himself as a janitor. Saying,
A fashionable janitor. Get it right, Vic.
yes. And of course, Breezango then just rattling off on fashion violations and all that kind of stuff. And they also talked about facing the Usos. And before doing a freeze post, I actually saw that and I thought I was just laughing. And you saw some of the pictures on there, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was just funny. They actually had Vince McMahon's mugshot on the bulletin board as well. I thought that was hilarious. Well, speaking of Breezango, they were in action against the Clones. And, the Clones started off, they were pretty strong. They were batting Breeze in the corner, and then at the end, a Falcon's Arrow by Fandango going for the pin. And then, of course, you had the Usos once again trash talking them. And my thing is like, do you think Breezango's going to win the match? I mean, you think at Backlash, do you think they're going to win and become the new tag team champions?
Honestly, I can see it happening.
I mean, this will probably finally get the push that Fandango and Tyler Breeze needed.
I mean, they're doing fantastic. Fandango and Tyler Breeze, they have some sorcery of comedic style because they are doing phenomenal, even as a comedic tag team. And they can go in the ring. They've got fantastic stage presence. They can command the mic as well. Like, honestly, we could be looking at the new tag team champs for SmackDown. I really believe it. I think they're finally getting the push they deserve.
I mean, I told you, they took something that was really ridiculous and just ran with it.
And that's hard to do.
At this age, that is very hard to do. All right, we also had, of course, the contract signing for that 6-woman tag team match, where it's Becky Lynch, Charlotte, and Naomi taking on what they call themselves the Welcoming Committee, Natalya, Carmella, and Tamina.
Of course, with James Ellsworth.
As well as with James Ellsworth. I was hoping we wouldn't think about that, but yeah.
I'm not looking forward to this. I still don't understand how the hell Charlotte turned face. Like, she's always been a super heel for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they gave no backstory on how or why.
The only thing that they had was this welcoming committee beating up on Charlotte.
Which I can understand. Like, Charlotte has had heat on her since she won that championship. She's always had that heat on her. She's always been that super heel. But her randomly turning face, it's not in her character. I think creative needs to rewrite that and figure out something for her. Maybe she's playing Miss Nice Girl and she's going to fool Becky Lynch again and go back to her conniving ways.
And Naomi. And don't forget Naomi as well, so.
Oh, we can't forget Naomi. She's amazing.
Oh, because she's the current SmackDown Women's Champion.
Well, that too, and I love Naomi. I've loved Naomi since her and Cameron were the Funkadactyls, though.
Yeah. But and of course we had Carmella versus Naomi. I think it was a non-title match. Yeah, it was a non-title match because of course Ellsworth got involved. Ellsworth tried to protect Carmella, but the referee tossed him out. Excuse me. Then you had Natalya and Tamina in it, and the referee ejected them. And they didn't want to leave, but so Flair and Lynch just, struggled with them. Just started beating them up outside the ring. So, and because of that, Carmella took that opportunity and took the advantage and won that match against Naomi. So your thoughts on that? Yeah. Oh no, I lost my lost my co-host to the trance of the second. I know.
My train of thought was like crossed over in a different dimension. trying to make sure all my notes were verified and everything. You know me.
Yeah, that's cool.
Dual computers for the win.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So what happens next? What was our main event for the night?
Our main event for the night was Baron Corbin taking on Randy Orton. So of course, well, before we had that, in a backstage interview, Sami Zayn was announcing that he's going to be facing Corbin at Backlash. So what does Corbin do? He beats the living crap out of him during the segment.
Well, of course.
And just leaving him lying on the floor. And then, in the ring, Orton out-wrestled Corbin early on. He had a series of headlocks, takedowns, and he flusters Corbin. So eventually, Corbin took over, blasting the Viper, the flurry of power moves and strikes. And yes, I hate to say this, but I'm reading this from the actual results because unfortunately I didn't get a chance to see it. But of course, Orton recovered. Now Baron Corbin was able to get rid. He was able to avoid one RKO, but unfortunately he didn't avoid the second one. And of course, after the bell, who shows up? But the Raha Maja, whatever he calls himself, Jinder Mahal comes out with the trash talking. And I'm guessing and of course, Mahal's little followers, the Singh brothers, just attacks Orton once again. And they just beat up on Randy. So they once again beat up on Randy. And like I said, we'll just see at Backlash if Jinder Mahal will win the WWE title.
And it's looking very likely. And what is going on with Sami Zayn? Are they burying him? Like, he came out and on the main roster, he had this huge presence, a great feud with Kevin Owens, and now that he's on SmackDown, he's kind of been put to the wayside.
I don't know what to do with Sami Zayn. It's at this point, it's just, I don't know.
And then Baron Corbin's kind of bland and boring to me. I think he's very overrated.
I agree. Especially from one part from the Fashion Files where they said where Tyler Breeze says, Exhibit A, Baron Corbin's shirt. All wolves.
All
and
wolves.
He just goes, all wolves. And it was just funny. Well, anyway, that should be it for our show. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook. As you see the address there. Of course, follow us on Twitter at The Rope Shoot. And we also have and I didn't get a chance to put it in, but I will put it in. We also have a Patreon. So we have, as I said, we have a Patreon going. I will get you the link. We figure out how to put links up here, but as I said, we do have a Patreon. We're now accepting pledges.
And yes, we are accepting pledges. If you do pledge $10, you get a special little. We do have a Discord channel, so if you do have a Discord, you automatically get put into that. You do get to hang out with us during production chats and get to see everything going on behind the scenes. You get cool graphics. We could even make you a little lower third, so maybe you could have a guest spot on The Rope Shoot. Shoot the shit, as we call it.
Yes, shoot the shit, definitely. That's right. With it is called the Irish Whip Patreon. So, like I said, $10 or more. Like I said, gets access to patron-only content. You get sneak peek photos of upcoming releases, and of course, only Patreon-only polls. So please, it is, and I hope you get this. It's www.patreon.com/TheRopeShoot. www.patreon.com/the-rope-shoot-pc. So I will put that at some point as well. And as like, please, we need the money. Look at what we're using. But yeah,
But yeah, any support that you can give us, we give it back tenfold to you. We love you guys. You're the reason that we're here. We share that love and that camaraderie of loving WWE that much. So any and all support we will gladly take, and we will gladly mention you in a future podcast, actually. So, and we're also thinking of working in a t-shirt design so that way you can sport your very own rope shoot t-shirt in the coming months. So that's exciting. So keep your eyes peeled.
So until then, follow us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, become a patron in our and give you your pledges. So that's it for today. Don't forget to check us out next week at the same time, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So until then, what do we always say, Bunny?
Good night and good fight.
Take care, everybody.
Bye-bye.